Hi guys, I want us to look at the integral of arcos of x with respect to x. So the same procedure that we used on arctan and arcsine and also ln is that same procedure that we will use on arcos. So we multiply here by 1. We haven't changed anything because 1 times arcos of x just gives us arcos of x. So we're going to let our u. So let u equals arcos of x, meaning du over dx is going to be equal to minus. So remember, for arcsine it's just 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared, but for arcos it's going to be minus 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Then what we didn't pick as our u automatically becomes our dv dx. So we have dv over dx equals, that's going to be 1, right? And then v is then the integral of 1 with respect to x, because this is actually 1x to the power 0. So if we add 1 to the power, then divide by the resulting power, we're going to end up with x. So this here is x. Now we're going to write the formula for integration by parts, which is the integral of u dv over dx. So our question is in this form: the integral of u dv dx. That gives us uv minus the integral of v du over dx. So we also have to then solve this integral, because we don't want to give an integral as part of a solution. We want to have a full solution on this side. So that's our solution side. So we're going to have the integral of arcos for this part, which is just the question. The integral of arcos of x dx equals uv is going to be x arcos of x, so it's x arc cos of x minus v. V is x, so it's the integral of v du dx according to our formula there. So we put x there, and then du dx is minus 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. But so it means we're going to have a negative there, but instead of putting it there, let's put it outside instead. So it's going to be minus minus here. And if you have two negative signs there, they're going to make a plus. So you now have plus the integral of x over the square root of 1 minus x squared with respect to x. So now you are going to use u substitution on that part, because we have an integral that we have on the solution side. We also have to solve that integral so that we end up getting a full solution for this integral, because this is the question, this is what we were asked, right? So that's going to give us, we're going to say let u equals x, that's going to be 1 minus x squared, right? So u be what's inside the square root sign. So that's going to give us du over dx equals minus 2x, right? So if du over dx is minus 2x, it then means we're going to get our du as minus 2x dx, meaning minus du over 2 is going to be equal to x dx. So what this then means is that we're going to have something like minus the integral, so this is 1 over 2, minus 1 over 2 times the integral of 1. So basically where we have x dx, we are removing that, we are putting minus a half du, meaning we are going to have 1 over root of, inside the square root sign we're going to put u, because we let u be 1 minus x squared, so we put 1 over root u. That they can also be written as, it's much easier to write it as u to the power half, right? We can also then change this into we can also then change it into the integral. So it's minus 1 over 2, the integral of u to the power of minus 1 over 2 du. So if we integrate that, we add 1 to the power, divide by the resulting power, which is half, and we're going to have something like that. So this here cancels with the half that's there, we're left with the negative sign. And then there we're going to have minus half plus 1, that's going to give us half. So we're going to write the solution for this part, the integral of x over 1 minus x squared, the square root, with respect to x is just, that's just what? We're going to say u to the power half, right? And we have that negative sign, so it's going to be minus the square root of 1 minus x squared, because u to the power half is just the square root of u, which is the square root of that. So that's the result for that part of the integral. And remember, it as a negative. So it means we are removing that integral, we are putting its solution. So that means our final answer for that integral, arcos of x, is going to be, we're going to say the integral of arcos of x with respect to x is equal to x arc cos of x. Then we have plus minus, so we have plus minus the root of 1 minus x squared, but we're going to just put the minus, right? So we're going to have 1 minus x squared plus the constant of integration c, because we don't have limits of integration. So that's our final solution.